As producers, our main goal is to make beats that hopefully an artist would want to use. We've all been told to leave room, keep it simple, but what actually makes an artist choose a beat? In this video, I became an artist and made a song to discover the keys to making placement-ready beats. And next I'm going to do an arpeggiated version of the same chords. Before we go any further, we need to talk about point number 1, chords and melody. As I was figuring out these guitar chords, I was singing melodies in my head, and when I played the chords you heard there, I instantly had an idea for vocals. Sometimes when I'm making beats, I'll use all these crazy sounds, I'll use all the processing tricks I know, but it still can't make up for a bad chord progression. Coming from the perspective of an artist has totally changed how I view chords. When you make a progression, you should be able to come up with some vocal ideas yourself, because if you can, a great artist definitely can. If you're struggling to come up with vocal ideas, maybe try changing the pitch and find one that suits your voice. Before any processing, your main chords and melodies should sound great on their own. I think this definitely needs a compressor. Next, let's add this bass in. So I've ended up putting the bass in a kind of higher octave. I want it more as a texture than as an actual bass. Now we had the main section of the beat, I started recording vocals.
Yeah, I want like 10 summers, they know numbers. Kept a lot of faith in me, now we roll runners. Why would I wanna go there? I know they don't love us. Got my foot up on the gas and I don't really know nothing, but I'm silent with you. You know I always get silent with you. Silent with you. You know I always get silent with you.
It very quickly became apparent that there's something super important that I often just sweep under the rug, and that thing is arrangement. If I'm making beats for an artist, I'll usually half-time a melody for a verse or reverse a section, but there are so many ways to make your beats 100 times more interesting using arrangement. For example, in this song, bringing the verse in straight after the hook felt too rushed, and on the other hand, playing the entire 8-bar loop felt too long. So I used 4 bars of the loop, and it transitioned perfectly into the verse.
You know I always get silent with you. Couple people depend on me, friends are the enemies.
This is a prime example of doing something I never would have thought of without stepping into the mindset of an artist. Next, it was time to flesh out the beat and add all the extra elements. Next, I want to add like a tambourine sound to it. Make it a bit lower though. Let's also, I want to randomize the panning so it goes side to side. Let's just filter out some high end. I want to add a clap. I think that's going to sound good, like a really big clap. We need to layer that with something a bit harder.
You know I always get silent with you.
After that, I added a synth bass.
I hope you feel like you're at home with me. I'm never gonna leave you lonely, girl.
Then I automated a low pass filter on the guitar so the high end slowly comes back in, and I also added a riser. Both of these things combined build back into the hook. Normally I'd add loads of textures to my beats to fill the frequencies, but doing this experiment has made me realize it doesn't really need them. Don't get me wrong, they can sound great, but a lot of the times the high frequencies interfere with the artist's vocals. I tried adding other drums and switch ups, but I felt as though it was taking away from the guitar.
Couple people depend on me, friends are the enemies.
So I just left it. That's pretty much it in terms of the beat, which leads me perfectly into point 3, mixing. Having vocals on the beat helped me mix with more purpose. For example, I panned the arpeggiated guitar to the right, which without vocals just sounded weird to me, but it was perfect for the final track. And for the hook section, it made me appreciate leaving space even more, because once I'd processed 3 or 4 vocal layers, there wasn't any room for anything else anyway. I hope you guys can use these things in your production. If you want to listen to the song, I'm going to leave a link in the description. It's going to be on SoundCloud, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, I want like 10 summers, they know numbers. Kept a lot of faith in me, now we roll runners. Why would I wanna go there? I know they don't love us. Got my foot up on the gas and I don't really know nothing, but I'm silent with you.